Good afternoon. Welcome to OptionsTender. It's Wednesday, June 4th, 2025. Now, we're going to take a look at the 10-year interest rates. If you are bullish, you probably want to pay close attention to this. All right. We're doing this intraday about noon Eastern Standard Time. If you want to get these videos intraday, consider becoming a YouTube member. It's a supporter at 99 cents. You get the Discord and the trade alerts. We put on a few trade alerts this past week here, and they're looking good. Tesla was a banger. We're looking for follow through with those as well. We have multiple positions, and yeah, we should start adding on to the indices as we see them roll over. Now, first sign of rolling over here on the 10-year. This is what I've just completely have been driving in the Discord and to members, is that, you know, on this rising phase of interest rates, the economy is running on all cylinders, and you have a relative weakness in small caps and the strength in tech. That has been the theme. Then we have our impulse wave down. And with a three-wave move up here, we have a zigzag to make a divergent high here into the 786. And now we're pushing underneath that 62% retracement and having a big down day today. Anytime the bond market moves with large swings, it's going to affect the stock market. And now what's going to happen is the sell tech is going to kick in here anytime now, today, tomorrow, next week, and get a bunch of follow through. And we're looking for a big move to the downside. It's not going to be pretty for the stock market. And so heed this warning. And let's go on to the regular evaluation here. We have SPX holding steady right above this resistance area and out of the box. Let's see if price can hold up here. We do have some divergences happening. We're in a bearish, this bearish rising wedge here. You can expand the wedge if you want to in order to fit a new trend to break down. Okay, so that's what you do as you make higher highs. You can move the trend along with it, and it usually ties in really well with the moving averages. Also, so you have the 8 EMA, which the momentum is up. The 20 is a trend, and here's our breadth indicator, McClellan oscillator. Although we're making new highs, we're just neutral on the breadth. Breadth is not good. We have bad breadth. So what we're looking at is basically big tech holding prices higher. That's virtually it. As soon as these start to break, then if breadth does not increase or improve, then you're just going to start to see things collapse. All right, negative divergence on the daily time frame. RSI and the MACD still quite haven't rolled over here. When you see that roll over, we're going to have headwinds on a down move right now, and you'll have tailwind when it rolls over along with the MACD. Both momentum indicators will head to the downside, and you'll see the price action follow. I don't know if I should say follow. It's an indicator of what price action's doing. DMARC, we're at a 6 count. Do we get a 9 count exhaust signal? We'll keep watching. Awesome oscillator, still heading lower. Red bars. Let's go to SPY. Again, we're doing these each and every day. Make sure you hit that notification bell. These indicators, we're interpreting them. We're going to follow and watch exactly what they do and learn off them. So that's why we do these videos each and every day. All right, here's divergences. Our favorite one, the money flow index. Money is flowing out. We're making new highs. This is distribution. Bollinger Band, no setup there. Volume shelf, we don't need to look at that. We've been looking at it for, 3 weeks now. And Elliott oscillator. This was key on this breakout yesterday. Well, I don't know if it's considered a breakout. We're not moving anywhere. But on this new high, that was key here on the Elliott oscillator. This gives us the signal that we went from wave 3 top to a wave 5. All right, is the top in? I mean, it could still go inch a little higher, but we're not breaking out and getting these long bars here to go to all-time highs, which was our scenario that we're looking for if we're to get new highs here. All right, and it's just price action is not saying, hey, we're going to continue much higher. So we're near the end. That's what this oscillator is telling us. Okay, we're not going to show really much there. Let's go over to the VIX. The same thing is happening on all the other indices. Here's the VIX. Again, it's poking through. Possible reversal candle here if we have a doji. All right, no new lows yet, but we're in this zone. If price gets back over 19, I think that will be a good confirmation of new highs to come in the VIX. So far, what we talked about yesterday was we're getting into that cycle low territory, all right? And the ideal low would be tomorrow. So maybe we have another down day tomorrow. But we're in the zone. It doesn't have to, it can come before or after. We're looking for money to re-enter into the VIX. All right. On a traditional look here, we had the bearish rising wedge break. And what we're doing right now is probably forming another wedge. And you can see that the momentum is not quite as up as this move here. We're starting to not decline, but flatten out a bit. So we're probably going to see some sort of wedge form. That's pretty good right there. Maybe price can go a little bit higher, but if you use the body of this candle and the top of the rejection here, we're at resistance now. Now this could grind up resistance as well, but so far it looks like we're kind of reversing off there. We'll see what happens from here, but if we break down from 590, I think that will put a nail in the coffin there. So momentum is definitely waning in this one without even looking at the indicators. Momentum is up on the 65. Nothing to see here above all the moving averages. And now we have bearish divergence here. We're just ready. We're looking for this to roll over at this point. And in the near term, we do have a slight divergence on the RSI. Is that all we need? Possibly. Do we get one in the MACD? Not quite sure. Maybe this is an ending diagonal where we have a 1, 2, 3. We have a 4 that crosses over. We hold the trend line and get one more high. That would give us possibly a MACD negative divergence. And we're starting to get a sell signal here on the slow stoke. Let's see if that helps the MACD curl over. DMARC, we got that 9 count sell, and we went just a little bit higher. That does occur, even with the little correction. We made a little new high here, right? And then we reversed. So we're near top at this point. Same thing over here, or it could get the exact top. Awesome oscillator. Starting to get red bars with the negative divergence. Money flow. Ah, yes. Okay. Here is, we don't even need that. You could say negative divergence if it doesn't make a new high, but we already had our correction and we're starting to work our way into overbought territory. That's a good signal in the short term that this move may be over. Or, like I said, we hold 590 and we make a new high. That would give our divergence in the money flow index. That would be an excellent, excellent setup. So I like this. I like where we're at. This is not going to hold up for much longer if it doesn't reverse from here directly. And so if it does, then it looks as if we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move on this point right here. Okay. So is this a 1, 2, 3, and then we get a 4 and a 5? That could be. If this looks like a 3-wave move, if this is a 3-wave move and we break below 590 and we continue to sell off, then what we're going to pay attention to is the bullish. Here's the bullish scenario where we're ending a B wave, 3-wave move. Usually doesn't complete, but they can be deceiving too. There could be a 1, 2, and then a 3, 4, and a 5-wave extension where you had momentum increase on each wave. So don't let this, totally confuse you. Here's our trend line. Here's our trend line. That would be a first sign that things are getting to be bearish. And here's a bullish scenario where this is still a wave 4. All right, we have wave 4 in right here, but if it wants to exceed, then we have our zone that we still didn't really get to. We didn't even retrace back to the 23.6 and not even close on the Qs. And so our C wave would bring us down to close the gap, but it's going to be a 5-wave move if this is the case. And so we won't know if this is going to be an impulse lower high continuation, or if this is an A, B, C, and we move higher. Okay, we won't know that. But here's the other scenario. Oh, look at that. We hit the 887. No wonder we're getting a reaction from here. I wasn't even paying attention to that. So like I said, this wave 5 can be done. We talked about the 887 yesterday, and we tagged it. So this could be done if we get a 5-wave move lower. We're likely to get it into the gap close here, and then we'll look for a bounce for a wave 2. All right. So what we talked about a little bit, we're doing a little lesson on. Well, let's finish up here. Bollinger Band. We have a sell signal, overbought with negative divergence. So there's a setup on there. It came yesterday. Volume shelf. Here's the Elliott oscillator. So this was really good for us. And what this taught us here was the lesson that we're teaching on the members video today. By the way, it's $4.99 a month. We do all of our trades. I explain exactly why I do a trade, why I pick the strike prices, and what kind of setup it is. And that comes with an everyday analysis. On SPX, we use different indicators, and we use the slim ribbon on those. Just a little bit of different setup. All right. And so that's $4.99 a month. If you consider doing that, also appreciated. And so what we were talking about yesterday is this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly a 4, and then a 5 in here. So that would be a 4 triangle, or an A, B, C into a B, right? We just talked about that scenario. Now with the Elliott oscillator, what this is telling us is we had our peak here. All right. So I think I have to recount this into, and we already did this on, we already went over this, but this would be a wave 3 for us. All right. Forget about where the 1, 2 is right now. We'll set it aside. But we're looking at a wave 3 where the peak is. And then we had this divergence, right? Negative divergence. So we were looking at this being a 3, 4, and a 5. Then we had our correction, which clearly led, it held and made a new high. So in hindsight, we can now start talking about, and I'm not going to do the whole wave count. I'll finish it on my own time. Let's make this into a white. So now we had our higher degree. Sorry, let's duplicate this. Duplicate drawing. And now we had our higher degree, wave 3, end here. That could have been the ending right here. And now we had a correction. And now what this is signaling to me with this other divergence, the lower high, is that we have our higher degree. Let me just use this one, wave 5 in here. And this is possibly complete for this entire move. That's what the Elliott wave oscillator is telling us. Now, if things hold and make a new slight high, it will extend it over, because we don't know if this little move here is done yet, but it's going to make a lower high, and this move is going to signal an end. So we're near the end. We're at resistance. This is an objective short. This wavelength, this looks, complete or near completion. And so, yeah, there's not a whole lot more to say about that. All indicators are telling us. And when this Elliott oscillator on the daily time frame gave us that this was the last wave up, whether it's incomplete yet or we have, a few pennies left to go, we don't know that. But yeah, that's where we're at. Not a whole lot more. This is a very good lesson. Not a whole lot more to look at. We still don't have a new low on the VIX. We could close this gap and maybe make a slight new low there, but it's going to be a divergent low if it does. And we also have this nice wedge setting up. Doesn't have to. We break out from the downtrend line, and then that will be a good signal to add on to our short positions on any pullback. So there you go. We're going to leave it at that. We had a nice trade on MJ today. We had a trade on NVIDIA, which I do think NVIDIA has a little bit of a high to get left, but it might not happen. So we'll see. We're looking for reversal. We had a trade on Meta. Meta was an objective short today, and we'll continue to look at that. All right. Thanks for joining us here at OptionsTender. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.